Hello everybody, my name is Beth and I am the Steadfast Stitcher. And this is my Flosstube where we talk about cross stitch and cattails apparently. Hello everybody, my name is Beth and I am the Steadfast Stitcher, and this is my Flosstube channel where we talk mostly about cross stitch, a little bit of life and a little bit of kitten talk. And they are getting so big. I hope you're all doing well and you've had a great 2 weeks. Today I have got some whips to show you and some plans. And before I forget, in the next day or two, I will be recording a new Flosstube extra flip through. I have a brand new cross stitch book that I would love to share with you all. So why don't we get started? This is like take 3 because I've had kittens that have walked like right in front of the screen so you couldn't see what I was showing and just wanted to sit there and say hi to everybody. So I did have to cut that out. Maybe I'll put that in as like a blooper at the end. All right. So this isn't in order, but I am doing Arbitrary August. And it's sort of a modified one. So I'm spinning, and whatever the Tiny Decisions wheel ends up on is what I work on. But if I've had a really long day at work or whatever, then I only don't get very many stitches in, maybe even only one thread, then I'll keep it out for another day or two and then spin again after that. And I have the wheel set up so that it is can land on the same project multiple times. And my Tiny Decisions wheel is all of my Whipco pieces plus some sals that I would like to see more progress on. So the first one that I worked on is from Love Lives Here. It's a book from Teresa Kogut, and there are several really pretty patterns in here. In fact, I want to do all of them. And let me see if we can get to the page here. Nope, I went too far. So the first one I worked on is Our Whimsy House. Actually, I'm sorry, that's not the first one I've worked on this month. That's one of my wheel spins so far this month. Whew, I'm having trouble talking today. Please forgive me. All right, so it's Our Whimsy House. I love the salt box and the birds, and I just think it's a really pretty fun design. I also have another whip from this book called Our Small Sampler. This Small Sampler, excuse me, which I would love to see more project. And it is on my wheel, so who knows, it may come up again. It may come up to work on this one this month. I'm kind of hoping it does. All right, so Love Lives Here book, Our Whimsy House, and I am stitching Our Whimsy House on 22 count Badlands from Bestitch Me. And the last time this was out, I had the bird done, a tiny bit of border, and a little bit of the flower. So I put in more of the flower and put more of this border in going down, and then started on the house. So this was a couple nights after work, so I didn't get a lot done, but I did make some progress. And again, it stays on the wheel, so it could land on Our Whimsy House again, which I'd be totally fine with, because I really like this project. I think my wheel was in the mood for fall. It's had enough of summertime, because at least 3 of the projects were definitely fall themed, and even I would say our Whimsy house had kind of a fall vibe to it. But like me, I think my Tiny Decisions wheel is ready for autumn, and that's next month. It's be here before we know it. Not necessarily the temperatures and the colors, the autumnal colors yet, but fall's almost here. My favorite time of year. All right, so this one I got spun on the wheel is a Heaven and Earth Designs, and it's Spirit of Autumn. Absolutely gorgeous. It's by Ciro Marchetti. And I started this with Dawn Enchanting Stitches, and she's quite a bit further along than I am. But, I mean, look at all the colors. And can you see the little fox babies down here? Oh my gosh, they're so cute. It is just an adorable pattern. This one won't be done anytime soon. It is $6.75 by $4.94. It's huge. Absolutely huge. But it's going to be gorgeous. So the last time I had this out, I had 4 squares done. And that was it. I'm using 28 counts. So on the grid, I had 4 squares done. So I did get more accomplished on it, but it's still not looking like much. But I am seeing more colors other than the dark black and brown that was up in the corner here. So I am starting to see more colors, which is nice. Like I said, this is 28 count easy grid 1/1. And I do enjoy working on it. I've got too many projects to choose from. That's my problem. I need to focus on like 1 or 2 projects for a couple of weeks, but then that would make for a very boring and very short Flosstube. Now, right after that one, I drew another full coverage project. And this is also one I was working on with Dawn Enchanting Stitches. And this is mini. She got the full version. I had the mini. This is Mini Spirit of the Dragonfly by Cavalaris. And I just think the colors on this are stunning. Hi, baby. A little kitty cat. He's not so little anymore. He's getting really big. But so even this is a mini, but it's 260 by 328, so it's not small. No, you can't steal that. I'm also doing this on 28 count easy grid. And I think I got about 600 stitches in this one. So I did make some good progress in it. Hi. You want to say hi, Banjo? All right, just give me 1 second. All right. So it's not a lot. I haven't made it down to the Dragonfly yet, but that's where I'm at. Banjo. Hi. Yes, that's where I'm at. This is 28 count easy grid 1/1. And how about you want to come say hi? So this is Banjo. So since you've last seen him, he is growing by leaps and bounds. Oh my gosh. He's bigger than his mom now. And he is only, see, he was born in February, so he's only just about 6 months old. Aren't you? And he loves to play fetch. I've never had a cat that loves to play fetch, but he absolutely loves fetch. He especially loves it at about 3 o'clock in the morning. I will sometimes wake up in the morning, and if I haven't woken up in the middle of the night to play fetch with him because he's dropping toys on the bed, there'll be like 5 or 6 toys on my bed in the morning when I wake up. Yeah. So he's now figured out that the best way to get me to play fetch during the middle of the night is to, when he brings a toy up, instead of dropping it on the bed, he drops it on my face. So now, surefire way to wake me up is to play fetch by dropping the toy on my face. He also will come running up with his toy when watching TV or stitching or whatever, and he will literally, if I hold out my hand, he drops it in my hand so I can throw it for him. He runs and gets it and comes back. I have never had a cat that loves to play fetch, but he absolutely loves it. Sorry. I went off on my own little story time. Yeah, they're all sweetie pies. I'm just so in love with them. All right. Now, I started this with Angie Stitches with Cats. And this was another one that was on my wheel. But, oh, hold on just a moment. Kittens! All right. So I started this with Angie Stitches with Cats. She's already finished hers. I need a lot more progress on mine. But yes, my wheel was liking my autumn project. So this is Autumn Rules by Primrose Cottage Stitches. And it's a fun stitch. It's actually, you do it 25 count over 2. So I'm doing 2 threads over 2 on 25 count with all the called for colors. But you gotta see this fabric. It's fabulous. All right. So I had Autumn Rules, the very first row done, and I worked on the second row. But the fabric I'm using is called Autumn, and it's 25 count from Bestitch Me, and it is gorgeous. Look at those colors. And I think I already said, but yes, I am using all the called for colors. And it's just so pretty. It's fun to work on. My little barefoot needle minder is upside down. But yeah, I'll link Angie's Instagram below, Stitches with Cats. She already finished hers, and she's got several terrific projects that she has. Those little tiny mice, have you seen those little cross stitch ones? They are so cute. She's done a number of those, and they are just adorable. And she'll be at the retreat, I believe, in October, and I'm really looking forward to seeing her from with Barefoot Needle Arts. I can't wait. And Lori Mischievous Stitches will be there, and Susan Criminally Creative, and a whole bunch of people I'm looking forward to seeing. All right, so next up, I had Riley Harbor from Kathy Barrick. That is this one here. This is one I would really like to finish this year. But we shall see. I'm not as far along as I thought I was. I thought I was closer to 50%. But Pattern Keeper is telling me I'm only at like 38%. So hopefully I would love to get this done. It is a really pretty pattern. Now I am using the DMC conversion. I did make a couple color changes. Because the DMC conversion was really different from what was shown in the picture. And I think this is all done in MPI silks. So when I pulled the DMC conversion, some of the colors are really different. So I made a couple changes on my own. And then I've decided I'm going to do the whale in Weeks Dye Works Gray, which I believe used to be called like Dirty Gray, and then before that Confederate Gray, but I think it's just called Gray now, and I think it'll be perfect for this whale. So that's some of the color changes that I made. And like this second house here, I changed to Barn Door because that was a little bit closer to the picture from Gentle Arts. But so this is where I'm at so far. Oh, can't see the bottom of the sailboat. All right. So we have the first boat there. I have more boats to go. But I was working up here. I did this house. And then this house, the DMC conversion was quite a bit darker. And the picture showed a very light house. So I changed this to barn door from Gentle Arts to be more in line with the photograph or picture of the whatever. You know what I mean. But yeah, so that's where I'm at so far with this one, and I am really hoping to finish this year. I would love to. This one and pumpkin colored autumn. And then another one that I had temporarily misplaced because it somehow wound up packed with other things other than my cross stitch when I moved last year. So that's Midnight Manor, and I would love to get that finished this year as well. And that's a small, so that should not be a problem. All right, so that was Kathy Barrick's, Riley Harbor, and then the last one that I worked on, I was so happy to pull this one back out again. For a little bit, I wasn't feeling it because I had stitched a little bit of the upper left-hand corner. I'm like, I don't really like the colors. But once I saw Susan Criminally Creative showed it in, I believe it was just her last video. She's also working on this one, and we were both inspired by seeing it with Jessie Marie Dove stuff. So she was calling it Autumn Fairy Town, and there are 2 autumn towns that come together as a pattern. It's an Etsy site. I'll try and link it below. But I mean, this is just gorgeous. So I had done like just a little bit of this hot air balloon here with that dark color and the orange, and I'm like, oh, I don't really like it. But when I saw Susan working on hers, the hot air balloon, she had almost completed the hot air balloon, and it looked a lot better with all the colors in it. And so I had kind of, this almost ended up being UFO just based on those couple colors. So I was really glad that I saw Susan working on it and the colors, because it's beautiful. I'm really enjoying it. So it's an Autumn Town series, but this particular one is just 476. And I can't remember what the other one is numbered, but there were Autumn Town and Autumn Fairy Town. And this was the Autumn Fairy Town, I believe, on the Etsy website. I am doing this on 16 count. And this is Fiber on a Whim Affogato. And so now this is what it looks like now that I've done almost all of the hot air balloons. Sorry. Don't worry, that wasn't anything bad. They've got a crinkle tunnel that makes a load of noise when they run through it, and they love it. All right, so anyways, so all I need to do with this one is there's a little bit of black that goes down in here. Then there's a little basket, which is like 2 different colors, and then there's some back stitching to finish the hot air balloon, but I'm going to do the back stitching towards the end. I also did a little bit of work on the clouds. So there's 3 colors in here. There's this full cross, then this was half cross, and then that's full cross. So there were a lot of blended stitches in here. There's back stitching, there's half stitches, but I think it's going to be gorgeous. And it's really hard to put down. I actually really want to work on this a little more this week. Who knows? We'll see. I might bust Arbitrary August out the window. I don't know. But it's a very fun stitch. And I'm so glad I picked it back up. So thank you to Susan Crimley Creative and Jessie Marie Does Stuff, who first inspired me to buy this piece. I think it's going to be gorgeous. I like both of the towns. The other one doesn't have the big tree in the middle of it, but it's still very pretty. So eventually I'll probably do both, but for now I'm just working on the Autumn FairyTale version. All right. Now, as far as plans go, I am going to be joining in September 1st on a new SAL that is by Wild Fox Stitchery. She's on YouTube and she's also over on Instagram, and I will link her YouTube channel below. So it's Wild Fox Stitchery and Forest Crone Crafts are doing the Fall for Foxes SAL, and it starts September 1st. I'm excited about that. I can't resist a good fox. So I'm going to be doing this freebie pattern from, excuse me, Owl Forest Embroidery called Autumn Skittering. Now, I don't know if you can tell from the picture, but it looks like they brushed out the thread on the fox. And I don't think I'll be doing that. I think I'm just going to leave him straight stitched. But I think this pattern is so pretty and I'm looking forward to working on it. I'm going to be using DMC threads on this one, not Owl Forest. I didn't order Owl Forest threads for it. And this does fall in with my under 250 stitch count plans for this year. So I'm trying to limit the size of projects that I start this year because I have so many BAPs. So yeah, definitely check it out. It's on Instagram. You can find it on Wild Fox Stitchery's Instagram page or Forest Crone Crafts. Cross Stitch Salander on Instagram. The account is a great place to go looking for new SALs that are coming up. You know, obviously not every single SAL that's on the place because you'd have to notify them, but they've got a terrific selection of SALs from different people put together on this one page from Cross Stitch Salander, and that's where I found this Fall for Foxes SAL starting September 1st. So I am looking forward to that. On September 12th, one of my admins in my Crafts and Books group is celebrating her birthday, and she wanted to stitch anything from Sugar Stitches on Etsy, her Bouville series. So it's a very cute, like, oh, hello, Halloween theme. And there's a number of different patterns for Bouville. And I picked this one, which is the Bouville, Boo Brew Tea Room. And I think it's just adorable. So our Zoom room will be open on that day for in the morning, because that's a Friday. Bridget will be hosting it in the morning. Then there will be a second session in the evening for working folks like me. And she'll also be on that one. But definitely come check out our group, Crafts and Books. I'm having trouble talking today, but you know, hey. It's a very fun group. I really enjoy it. Really terrific people. And it's Crafts and Books because you can work on whatever you like. And we also have a book club once a month. This coming, the end of August, it's our classic book month, which we do every 3 months. And we're doing the Portrait of Dorian Gray. And then the end of September, last Sunday in September, our book will be The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, which I'm really looking forward to. Yeah, this looks really interesting. And one of the people in our group recommended this one, so I'm looking forward to that. So that's all I've got for you today. I do plan on doing keeping up with spinning that wheel, and I'll be back in a day or two with a brand new cross stitching book that I'm very excited about. Matter of fact, I think Bridget, our September birthday girl in my group, will also love this book. So I'll see you in a day or two, and then back for my regular whip, my regular Flosstube in 2 weeks. Oh, I should probably, no, I'm not going to start this over and try again. It's already my 3rd try. All right, so that's it for today. Have a great 2 stitching weeks. I will see you with a quick flip through in a day or two, and then my regular video in 2 weeks. Take care of everybody, and take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. Oh, and just in case they're watching, happy 60th birthday to my younger brother. Love you. Take care, everybody. Bye.